Hello friends, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I will provide you the solution of the lab configuring private Google Access in CloudNet, and it is the part of our yellow challenge. Okay, before that, I already uploaded the solution of the remaining labs, so please go to my channel's playlist of the yellow challenge and started to complete all the remaining labs. So without wasting our time, let's click on this configuring private Google Access and CloudNet lab. Wait for the page to load. As you can see, here are total 4 tasks that we need to perform. Click on Start Lab button. Wait for the credentials to load. Right click on open Google Cloud Console and open it in private window. Once again, it's a necessary step for you to open it in incognito mode, otherwise you will face certain error or problems. As you can see, email id is already pasted here, but if in your case, if email id is not pasted automatically, then use the username instead of the email id pasted there and you will get the access. In the password section, we need this password, so copy this, click on next, paste the password, hit enter, click on I understand button, wait for our Google Cloud Console to load successfully. As you know, a pop-up will arise here of the agreements and conditions. So we need to accept the conditions and click on agree and continue. Then click on, now before activating the Cloud Shell, we need to perform certain tasks. Move to the task 1. Here we need to create a VPC instance in the VM VPC network. So the network name will be the private net. So copy this private net carefully. Don't copy the full stop. Come here, search here VPC net. Open it in new window, okay, or new tab also. Let's open it in new tab. Okay, wait for it to load. We are in VPC network. Here we need to create a VPC network. So click on create VPC network. Now here we paste the name that we copied. Now let's check the credentials. We need this name. Now copy this name. Scroll down and paste the name that we copied. In the region, it will be US Central 1. You can check, it's given here that the region must be US Central 1. So be careful about it. Maybe in your lab it might be changed. So be careful regarding it. The IP range will be this. Copy your IP range. Come here, paste in the IPv4 range. Scroll down, click on done, and that's it. Click on create button. It started to create the network. Once you are done with that, come here, scroll down. Now we need to create some firewall rules. Okay, so copy the name of the firewall that is required. So copy this carefully. Come back here. You see successfully created network. So cut it. Click on firewall button. Now we need to click on create firewall rule because we need to create some rules. Here, put the name that we copy. Come here. We need to select network as private net. So in the network, select private net. But if in your case you see only the default button, then first refresh this page again, then you will see the network. In the network section, you will see the private net option. Okay, so select the private net option. The target will be all instance in the network. Source will be IP range. So let's do it. Scroll down, specific target list. In the targets, we need to select all instance in the network, right? In the source IP, we need to paste this IP, this one. So simply copy it. So copy it. And in my case, the source filter is IP ranges. In your case, it must be IPv4 or anything else. So be careful about your source filter. So I will change the source filter to IP range only and paste it here. Now we need to click on TCP. Here, the port is given to us that the port must be 22. So just type 22 here in the ports. Now scroll down and click on the create button. That's it. So as you can see, successfully created the firewall rule. Now come back to here. We need to click on check my progress. As you can see, a green tick is appear here. Now we need to create some VM instance, and the name of that VM will be this. So copy this VM instance name. Come here. Here, search VM instance. This one. Open it in new tab. Come here. Here we will create our new VM instance. So wait for it to load. So now click on the create instance button when it's loaded. The name that we copied is this one, so we need to paste it in the name display option. Wait for it to load. Remove this name. Paste the name. Yes. Be careful regarding the spacing. There must be no extra spacing. Right? Come back here. The region will be US Central 1 and the zone will be US Central 1C. Okay, so this change this. You can see it's already selected correctly. But in your case, if these are different, then please select the right one. Now in the series, it must be N1. Let's check it. The series is N1 standard. No problem with that. Simply, I will scroll down, click on the advanced option button. I click on the networking. Then scroll down to here. Click on this default. Change the network from default to private net. Now let's go to the page. The subnetwork is private net US and the external IP will be none. So let's set it. The subnetwork is already set it to default. And what we need to set another is, let's see, the external IP address, there should be none. Now click on done button. Click here. Now click on create button. That's it. Wait for it to create. Now come back. Scroll down. Click on check my progress. Wait for it to done. Now you can see here's a green tick. But if in your case it's throw any error, then try 2 to 3 times on clicking check my progress. You will get a green tick for sure. Now let's move to the next task. Now let's scroll down. What we need to do is we need to create another VM instance page. So we need to create one more instance. So just copy the name of the instance, copy it, come back to here, click on create instance button, cut this. We need to follow the same steps that we do in the previous task. Remove this whole name, paste the name that we copied. Let's check the region and the zone, what it must be. So the region will be US Central A and this one be US Central C. So you can see it's already selected. Series will be N1, is it? Let's check. Uh, the machine type will be F1, not N1, F1 micro. So it will be F1. Let's search for it. This one, machine type will be F1 micro. Okay. And then scroll down. What we need to change is, let's read, identify and API access scope, set access for each API. So identify and API access scope, set access for each API. Click on this one. Compute engine will be read write. Then the compute engine, scroll down, will be read and write. So search for the compute engine. This one. Select it for the read and write. This is all. We need to make the change in this only. Then click on management, security, disk, networking, sole tenancy. So click on management for search for management. Let's come here. Click on advanced option. Click on networking. Now here we need to make some changes. Let's see. Come here. The networking, for network interface, we need to set it for the private net. In the network interfaces, we need to set network as the private net. The subnetwork will be private net US and the external IP will be Ampere. So it's private net US and this will be Ampere. That's it. Now we can click on the done button. We can scroll down and click on create. Now we can click on check my progress and it must be done. That's it. This task is also done. We don't need to perform this task. We can skip and jump to the task 2. Okay. In the task 2, we need to create some buckets. So simply come here, search for the bucket here, BUCKET, and open it, the buckets in the new tab. Come here, come to the page, copy this project ID, wait for it to load. Now click on create button once the page is loaded. We can cut this. Now paste the project ID that we copied. Click on continue button. Paste. Click on continue button. Now we can continue it. We can also continue this. Uncheck and take this enforce and click on the find graded. Click on continue button. Now click on create button. That's it. Wait for it to complete the process. Now as you can see, the bucket is created successfully. What we need to do is come back to your dashboard, cut it, and click on activate cloud shell button that is on our top right corner, and wait for the cloud shell to load. It will synchronize with our data. So let's wait for it. Click on continue button. You must be familiar with this, so I don't need to explain anything. It's synchronizing and connecting. Click on got it button. Now you can see our shell is now activated. What we need to do is, first of all, watch my video carefully. What you need to do is, on the dashboard, go to your VPC, this one, firewall VPC that we early access it while we were performing the task. Click on VPC networks. Here, click on the private net one. Wait for it to load. Now click on this private net US. Wait for it to load. Click on this edit button. Now scroll down. Give private Google access and give it turn it on. Now click on save button. Wait for it. It will take a bit time. It's saving. So let me skip the video for a minute. Now you can see it's get updated. So now what we need to do, we simply came here, copy this, come here, click on dashboard, go to our shell here, paste the command, move this my bucket from the last, come here, copy this project ID, paste it here and hit enter. Now what we need to do is we can come back to our VM instance, which is this one. Now here we need to open SSH, this one, click on this, wait for it to load, and here we will run our further commands. Okay, so it will take few minutes to be loaded. So I will skip this part. Now as you can see our SSH shell is loaded. Now come back to the lab, scroll down, copy this, come to the shell, paste the code. Now in this code we need to edit something. So we need to remove my bucket and paste the bucket name that we created. So started to remove it. It will show some latency. The SSH shell will show some latency. So be patient and do it correctly. So remove it one by one. Now come back to here, copy your project ID, paste it here, hit enter. You will see this code will also run. Now, so what you need to do is now scroll down, copy this task, this code, paste it here, hit enter, it will run. Wait for it, press yes when it asks you for to continue. So press Y on the keyboard and hit enter. Hit enter once again. Hit enter once again. You need to hit enter 2 times. Now wait for it to load. It will take 1 minute or 2 minutes. What it's doing, it is connecting your machine to the VM instance that we created. Now it's successfully done. Now once it's done, come to here, scroll down, copy this code, come here to the SSH terminal, paste your code that we copied. Before hitting the enter, we need to remove the my bucket space and we need to paste the bucket that is the name of the bucket. So remove it carefully with the patience because it's showing some latency. So don't get panic. Remove it. Come back to the page. Copy the ID. Paste it here. Now hit enter and wait for it to run. Okay. Now you can see it's run successfully. Now once you're done with this, scroll down, skip these steps, click on check my progress, and you will see here will be a green tick. That's it. So if at that step, if you exit the lab or end the lab, you will get a green tick beside your lab. But if you perform the remaining task, then you will get some extra score. So I will perform the whole task, so no issue will be there. So without wasting time, let's come back to here to the dashboard. Actually, search here the cloud net. Once again, open it. If you end the lab here, you will get a green tick. You can end the lab here, but if you are doing it for the score that is here, if you want to increase your score, then you can follow the further step. Otherwise, you can end the lab. You will successfully get a green tick from here. Okay. Now click on the get start. Come back here. Paste this name. Copy it. Paste the name here. The network. Select the default of let's see what's it. It's private net, so we need to change it to the private net. The region, it will be US Central Lower. The cloud router, we need to click on create new router maybe. So click on create new router. Come back to here. Copy the name of the router. That will be NAT router. Be careful with the full stop. You don't need to copy that. Come here. Paste it. No other changes need to make. Click on create button. It will be created successfully. Now scroll down. Click on create button. Once it's get created, the status will be green tick and running. Wait for that to happen. It will take few minutes, seconds or minutes. After 1 minute, you can see here will be a green tick of running. Now you can come back to here and click on the check my progress button. You don't need to perform this code. You will get a green tick here. That's it. That's the end of the lab. Now you don't need to perform any other task. Congratulations, your lab is completed. Click on end lab button. Click on submit button. Give the star rating that you want to give. This lab is a bit confusing and the tricky one. So make sure you follow each and every step correctly. Okay. So now when we came back to the page, you will get a green tick beside this lab that we performed. So yes, here's a green tick beside our lab. So that's it. This is the solution of the lab. If you like the video, then make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the like button. If you have any query, then please ask me in the comment box, or you can ask me in the Telegram group. So I will leave the group link in the description box. Thank you very much. Stay tuned.